Hello, everybody. This is Joseph P. Farrell, Friday, December 9th, 2011. I'm getting to this late with my news and views from the Nefarium because yesterday I didn't feel like doing it. No excuse other than that. First announcement today. I'm about halfway done, a little more than halfway done on the first ebook, and that's going to be on the subject of what my co-author and I, who are writing this book, call the three great Yahwisms. It'll be a book of between 100 and 150 pages, not the same length as the actual hard copy books, but it'll be about half price from the hard copy books. And we're looking into doing doing print on demand. So if you want actual hard copy of these books, we're looking in how to do that with Lulu. So that hopefully will be done by the end of the month. And tonight, another reminder, another members vid chat for the members of the website. Anyway, I really have something that I want to talk about, and I will provide the link in addition to this video. I have a copy of an article on the Daily Bell, and I really wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because this article is very important. It's entitled, "Rothschilds Give Formal Consent to U.S. Direct Democracy." And it begins by citing a recent article at the Huffington Post that cites Lynn Forester de Rothschid. And she gives this editorial at the Huffington Post, and in it she states that some revelation is at hand. And according to this article, it has to do with putting a new candidate into the White House. And the article goes on to discuss the idea of direct democracy. And let me read what these three key paragraphs say. By a revelation at hand, is Ms. de Rothschild suggesting Congressman Ron Paul is about to win the U.S. presidency? Not sure about that. A close reading of the article, however, reveals something that may be even more radical. Ms. Rothschild is arguing for, wait for it, direct democracy. That is, selecting candidates directly by majority vote at the federal level, presumably without the fuss of the current two-party system. We've written about the dominant social theme of direct democracy before. The mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, an elitist worker bee if there ever was one, is a big supporter of an element of direct democracy, which includes the elimination of the two-party system. Now, this is the key point that they're making here, and I have to totally agree. What really is it? Well, it is basically an implementation of the USSR's communist system that died 20 years ago. The idea is that a technocracy of the elite can present candidates who are the most competent and the most competent at administration. In other words, what we're seeing going on in Europe, where they have put technocrats in charge of Greece and Italy, basically they've taken over the governments of those two countries, and they're now being run by central bank approved technocrats. But the article goes on to make a very important point, that those who are advocating direct democracy are precisely the financial elites. Because what that will mean is it will bypass the two-party system in this country, which is already deadlocked, and I think a certain extent of that has been intentional precisely to put into place this drive for direct democracy, so-called direct participation of, quote-unquote, as the article calls it, the radical center, to take over the government directly by majority vote. In other words, what they're planning to do is have referendums on everything, and we simply get to approve or disapprove candidates that are selected in a much more controlled process than currently exists under the two-party system. So it's something to watch out for, folks, because this is coming down the pike. The elites are creating, as we speak, a movement called Americans Elect. And let me read that part of this article to you. A not-for-profit organization called Americans Elect is establishing ballot access in all 50 states for the candidates for president and vice president in 2012 who will be nominated directly by the people in an online nominating process. Now stop right there, because all of this is going to be done by the internet. And this, to my mind, is yet another camel's nose in the door, because if you're going to have nominations and elections on the internet, bypassing the ballot box, bypassing actual paper ballots, which they've already succeeded in getting rid of, that means that they are going to probably press for internet regulation, because it will be involved in online elections. And of course, once that happens, you have the rampant possibility for voter fraud. They're already tracking people on the internet, on Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. So this is yet another mechanism that they're putting into place for control. Let me continue. The sophisticated website of Americans Elect allows registered voters a revolutionary new way to nominate a bipartisan ticket to occupy, notice the key word, the White House. To date, the website has over 300,000 delegates, more than 50 times the number that participate in both the Democratic and Republican Party conventions. And that, incidentally, is a citation from de Rothschild's actual article. So in other words, the other thing that we have to look for in this direct democracy move, and this is my final point, and you can read the article because I'm going to post this. This is a very important article. It just came out 2 days ago on the Daily Bell, and I wanted to bring this to your attention, not in a blog, but in a news and views from the Nefarium. The other thing that direct democracy means is that you have actually changed the nature of what voting is for. Most people vote for change of one sort or another. They're voting to get things done. But what direct democracy does, and what this article points out, is that the system is put into place, and the implicit assumption is that you are never going to change the system. If anything is broken, you just need more competent people, more competent technocrats to administer it. So that's what they're aiming for. This is the new pitch. And it's not, to my mind, coincidental that this appears after the basic collapse of the Occupy movement. This is what they're after. So I'm going to post that link, folks, in the news and views, and if there's any other news this weekend, like I usually do, I will come back on with an update or another flash news and views. But anyway, I hope I'll see everybody tonight in the vid chat, and we'll see you on the flip side next week, everybody. God bless.